Dear Toastmasters and guests, today I would like to share my experiences with a friend of mine. Fondly I call him Chintu. That's what I call him. He is an overweight person. We all tell him, you can reduce your weight, go and join the gym. But he says, no, it's not for me. We give him all kinds of reasons, telling why he can reduce his weight and be fitter. But he says that joining the gym, working out is for everyone else, not for him. I started wondering, rather I'm shocked, why is he like this? What's wrong with him? We are all there to support him, but he still doesn't want to achieve that goal. Then, after reading some materials, I realized his condition, what it was. They call it as victim mentality. To understand more about this condition, I started digging deeper. As Toastmaster Jyotish said about my nature, I have to get hands-on. So I started digging deeper in this case. I found some books on psychology that describe this condition. And there I came to know about a concept called self-image. Books describe it as what one thinks about oneself, what one perceives about oneself. And they say the behavior of the person, the attitude, all that is driven by the self-image. And to find out more about this person's case, we had to go back to his childhood. In his teens, he was not really very good in maths. And his maths teacher, Rangarao, used to tell him, you donkey fellow, waste fellow, practice, practice. But then every test after test, he used to fail. And every time the story used to go, he has to listen to his teacher giving lectures, half-an-hour lectures, about what was wrong in his paper, what comedy of errors he had created in those test papers, and all this in front of his classmates. It was a very bad experience for him. And the poor boy used to go home crying. Now that brings us a question, like, is there any hope for this boy? Can things be better for him? Psychologists say yes, definitely yes, it's possible. So how is it possible? They say we have to change the self-image. So a little more deeper I go into the topic, and I understand an illustration has been given about self-image. Think of it like a container. And what does it contain? Our thoughts, our experiences, our ideas, our habits, all these things are contained in that container. Then this person has to change that. That's what psychology says. Now, how do we change it? Before that, how did he get into this state of affairs? This is explained by the conditioning. Like when he was coming up, when he was in school, all the negative conditioning that he received has got into that container. As a child, we don't have any consciousness developed yet. Not enough consciousness to block those unwanted thoughts that don't serve us. So that's when it's like an open gate, everybody can come in. So all the negative thoughts have come and it is there in that container called self-image. To get rid of it, we have to replace it. Throw away those negative thoughts, put in positive thoughts or thoughts that serve us. Is it so easy to do it? Definitely not. Then how should we do it? Psychologists say that in order to do this, there are 3 steps we need to follow. It starts with the belief. First, believe that it can be done. The container can be emptied and new thoughts can be put in. We have to believe that, because if we don't believe, the remaining 2 steps are just not possible. Now the second step is, now that we have the belief, we want to go ahead with it. What is the second step? The second step is to exploit the positive influences that we can find around us. First of all, the negative thoughts got in by suggestions. Remember the teacher, he said that he was so and so, he was not fit, useless, and all those dialogues. That is a suggestion to the mind. They came and sat in that container. Now we need positive influences to come in. That is again through suggestions. Now, suppose if this boy goes to the teacher and says, sir, please replace your thoughts, give me all positive feedback now. Will the teacher agree? First of all, the teacher will recognize him or not, we don't know. So the onus is on us. That's why they call it auto suggestion. If we are lucky, we might get external suggestions also, but it is our responsibility that we do it for ourselves. Hence the word auto suggestion. Now some people have practiced this technique called affirmations. They simply take a chit or a piece of paper, write down suggestions to themselves. I am successful, I am this, I am that, all positives. They read it out every day. It may find stupid. What nonsense is this? Somebody might find it, but it truly works. Then another way of auto-suggestion is exploiting the positive influences of literature. Reading biographies of successful people, then going and attending workshops, listening to audio books wherever we go. These can have a profound influence on us over a period of time. Now, the idea is these influences, we want them to come and sit in our container, which we call the self-image. Now, what is the third point? The third point is stick to it, don't lose hope. Because we do it few times, we have a lot of josh. Next day we take the bath, all the josh is gone. So it doesn't work like that. We have to be really, really very patient. Now the question is, how long should we be patient? People who have practiced this, they say that at least try it for a year to see some noticeable difference. And in our case, our friend, Mr. Chintu, this will be a suggestion for him. Now whether Mr. Chintu will follow it or not, does he take it seriously, or he will also take the bath and all the positivity goes along with it, we have to see. But this message is not only for Chintu, it is for all of us. And now you might ask me, from where did you get this material? Is there any truth to this? Yes, there is. Because this is based on a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, written by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And this gentleman was practicing as a plastic surgeon, cosmetic surgeon in the US in the early 1900s. He wrote this book in 1960 based on his observations. So there's a lot of there's a lot of truth, research, experimentation that has gone into this. So this really works. If you want to try it, I would encourage you. On that note, all the very best to you, thank you,